Okay, class, we are back, and we're going to go ahead and factor trinomials with two variables. So I know that sounds scary, but it's really not, right? So when you're thinking about dinner, you really have two choices, two variables. One, should we cook in and eat in today, or should we go out? Really not that scary, right? When you're looking at your shoes, should I wear my Jordans or should I wear my other shoes? Somebody name a brand. Converses. Are those even cool anymore? I don't know. But the point is, we've got two variables in this particular case, right? So first we want to, again, identify factors of, in this case, we have negative 60. So this should be negative 60. And then we want to, again, identify the sum of those factors. And there's going to be one thing that's just a little bit different here, and we'll go through exactly what that is. But the same framework applies. First, outer, inner, last, which is our FOIL. So make sure that you have that, again, in your mind. So let's look at factors of negative 60. Negative 15 and 4, negative 4 and 15. Negative 20 and 3, negative 3 and 20. Really, the only other factor we have is 2 and 30. Well, in this case, negative 2 or 2 and negative 30. Right, so I'm just going to cut right to the chase here. If you do the math, you're going to get negative 11, positive 11, negative 17, positive 17, 28, and negative 28. Now, does any of those numbers look like one that we need? If I were to say that in class, you'd say, yes, Mr. Marchand, it looks like that negative 17 because that matches up with what's in the middle. Perfect. Now we do the exact same thing. So we've got two binomials right next to each other. But here's the key. Here's the key. And they have to sum to negative 17. Here's the key to all this, right? We have two variables. So we know that in the FOIL framework, we're still going to have D at the beginning, right? And we know that our two terms are going to be negative 20 and 3. So minus 20 and minus plus 3. But what do we need to add on the end of those two numbers? Exactly. We need to add that G term. Why? Because when we FOIL this thing, so let's go ahead and look at this in red. Let's look at FOIL in red. The FOIL framework, first, outer, inner, and then our last two terms, right? We're going to get D times D, so D squared. And then the outer terms, plus 3 dg, right? The inner terms, so you're going to get minus 20 dg, and then the last two terms, minus 60 g squared. So the key is, remember that when you're multiplying, multiply the coefficients, which is that number right next to the variable. Multiply the coefficients first. So for example, in 20 dg, all I do is I multiply 20 times what would be a 1 here in d, and this is going to get us to right here, 20 times 1, and then the d and the g. You can't simplify those any further, right? But what it's going to be is 20 times d times g, which simplifies to 20 dg. And so then our last step, we'll do our last step in orange, would add up right here. Then we're going to combine like terms, so we get d squared minus 17 dg minus 60 g squared. So just making sure that we back that out and it all makes sense. This is the exact phrase that we started with. So again, step 1, find the factors of negative 60. Step 2, identify the pair that has a sum of negative 17, like your term in the middle. And then step 3 is to draw our two binomials and make sure we incorporate both variables. So you should be good to do A, B, C, and D. Please again email me if you have any questions, and make sure you look at Google Classroom for your assignments daily. I will be back tomorrow with one more. Actually, tomorrow is our quiz. And again, look out for that email from me with a study guide for your quiz and anything else you need to know going into next week. God bless you. May He keep you in Isaiah 26:3 perfect peace. Until next time, class.